I don't buy that story of the Russian woman in the 17th century or 18th century where she said that she had like 75 kids or something like that. One set of uh, quintuplets, like two sets of quadruplets, 10 sets of triplets, 15 sets of twins, something like that. No shot, bro. No shot. No shot. I don't buy it. In the year, like you in 1776, you could just make stuff up. She probably kidnapped a bunch of kids and then was like, no, no, I had them. And then she hired like the world's smartest mathematician at the time. It took him 6 weeks to calculate the exact permutation of quadruplets, quintuplets, triplets, and twins that she would need to get in order to hit the number. And then the world's smartest police officer in 1771 was like, well, I can't possibly verify this data, so we're just gonna have to trust you. Anyway, no, that's all right. I don't need to view. I don't even view my notifications on Twitch or on YouTube unless it's from YouTube, in which case it's usually pretty important. We're gonna do an Apollo course right now because we're warming up for a marathon checkpoint league today. But I need Apollo's creator code. What's on this maker's head? Excuse me, Jay. That's a chicken karage. Actually, I think it might be a takoyaki. It's hard to tell. Like it looks like it's got the texture of a karage to me, but I feel like the stick is more of a takoyaki type thing. But I don't typically see like a lime served with takoyaki, but I don't know, maybe. Yeah, the lime is more of a like a fried chicken sort of thing. All right. Wait, can I just... Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Toasty. Appreciate it. LK... Hey, don't look. LK4 C62. Here's my impression of a 55-year-old man typing out his password in an open concept office, but he's not able to type it in without saying the letters out loud while he's doing it. Okay. That's him. Roof. That's him right there. Uploaded courses. So we're not going to... I don't know what course he's going to use today. We should do something not from TCL2. We should do something from TCL1. We're just warming up. Did you feel... And this is... I kept this in the input buffer from earlier. Did you feel like you were ready to have your first kid when you had, well, your only kid when you had her? Or was it just anxiety? Well, like, I think we got a Z jump on. No, because if you Z jump, you break the bomb. Hang on, give me a second here. Ah, yes, okay, it is Z jumping. We got it. I don't remember. Is the honest answer. What I will tell you is that you're gonna be fine. I've said this a few times over the past couple of years, but really like the first 3 months is like, it's actually, I wouldn't describe it as easy, but it's pretty easy to not mess it up. Like you're basically just not sleeping a lot, but you know, the baby is a pretty simple machine. It's like, you know, if they're crying, you give them comfort, and if the comfort doesn't work, you give them milk, and if the milk doesn't work, you check their diaper, and if the diaper's not dirty, then you're like, okay, well, like, enjoy crying. Sometimes they do just, you know, be crying. But you don't have to learn it all, like, you know, on the first day. It's like the first couple of days, I still remember, I feel so stupid that, like, you know, we did, like, a class before the baby came out. We had like a nurse come to our house and basically teach us how to be parents, and she prepped us really well. But you're still just like, you're stupid, like, because you've never had a kid before. You don't know what's going on. So like when we had our baby, we slept in shifts for like 3 days because we were like, oh, we can't all be asleep at the same time because somebody has to have eyes on the child at all times. And then, like, night 4 or 5 or something like that, we all just passed out. And then we were like, this is not the way that nature intended this to work. And then you realize, you just gain sleep when you can. And, like, the baby, especially for the first, like, 7 months or so, maybe even more, they don't even move, really. Like, if you put them somewhere, they're just going to stay there. You shouldn't leave them unsupervised, but, like, you don't have to be, it's not like a teenager where, like, every morning you got to walk by their room and make sure that they're still, like, asleep or something like that and they haven't snuck out to some kind of party. We did indeed use an Owlet, which is a smart sock that monitors, like, heart rate, and it's like a pulse oximeter as well to see if they're getting oxygen. But it's funny, like, we used it for like a year and a half. By the way, Stat Stick, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. We used it for like a year and a half, and I think it was like essential just even whether it worked or not, it was essential so that I could get some sleep under either the belief or the delusion that, like, I would wake up if something catastrophic would happen, no matter how infinitesimal the odds of it happening in the first place. Then, Dan had his daughter like a year and a bit after we had ours, and we sent him the Owlet, and he couldn't download the app from the App Store because it got recalled. Not because the sock could explode and like blow off the kid's femur or something like that, but because it was marketed as like a health product, but it didn't actually go through like the rigorous approval that like an electronic health product has to go through in order to get approved. They just did like the Uber thing where they were like, surprise, we like, we just put it out there and now you got to deal with it. Yeah, I had to go off. Well, like, there's a few different tones that it has, right? So, like, there is one tone that is, like, wake the fuck up, like, right now. And then there's, like, another tone that's, like, the sock has been, like, it's loose or it's been disconnected or something. And then you got to figure out, like, am I really going to go into my daughter's room at 3 a.m. and try to reattach this sock? And possibly, like, risk her waking up, but maybe I won't be able to get back to sleep if I don't attach the sock again, because I'm going to be like I'm not going to feel like she's safe. You get over it, like, bit by bit. Anyway, the point is, you won't be ready. Your partner will probably be ready. Like, I mean, if you're, like, 2 weeks away... I mean, I vaguely remember life in the pre-child era. Every day for like the last month was basically just Kate being like, get this baby out of me right now. And I was like, I don't know, I'm having a great time. I'm sitting on the couch, I'm playing Fall Guys. Oh, no baby today? Okay, well, I guess I got a great excuse to not really do too much tomorrow either. Oh. Do they need to sleep in another room? I think it's up to you. Like, we had the baby. Her crib was in the same room as us for like less than the average length of time, I would say. Like probably 6 months maybe. And then we moved her to her own room. A lot of people have it for like a year. It was helpful for us though. Mostly because like it's not even the baby's thing, it's me. Because every time she would make any noise, I would like wake up and look in the crib and be like, try to like see if her chest is still rising and falling. And then like, I'm so amped up on adrenaline that I'm like, I gotta, it takes me like 40 minutes to go back to sleep. It was self-care for me to have her go into her own room. Same thing, we would never like co-sleep because I would never get some sleep because I would always be like, I'm gonna wake up and be like, sorry, I crushed the baby, you know? But like by all accounts, I know co-sleeping is not recommended, but like I know people who have done it, and this is anecdata. Sorry, I'm not trying to say you should do it, but I know lots of people who have done it and it's been okay. But still, like, I wouldn't be able to make it. My ass would have been sleeping on the couch for like 18 months. Ooh. I know people that still sleep with their 3-year-old in the bed. We had another parent at daycare that co-sleeps with her like 3-year-old daughter, and I don't think it's weird. It's just like I'm glad it's not me. But I will say, it's been a long time. I'm 34. It's been at least 10 years since I've done this. But as a kid, sleeping in the same bed as your parents feels amazing. Like if you got scared watching a movie and then you're like, hey mom, hey dad, I'm scared, and you go in there and you sleep with them. Oh man, it feels so good. It's the comfiest because you're more secure than you've ever been before. Or than you've been in a long time. You feel so safe. Meanwhile, your dad is probably like, what the fuck, my fucking back. My fucking... Why is my 9-year-old kid still sleeping in a room with me? The Revolutionary War, he would have been on the damn front lines, like packing black powder into George Washington's musket or something like that. Now I accidentally rented Starship Troopers from the video store thinking it was age appropriate, and the mosquito aliens start slicing off troopers' heads and stuff like that. Now I gotta go to the chiropractor? Anyway, that's like, you'll figure it out. You learn it day by day. It's not like, you have it's not the LSATs, you don't have like a big test on it that you gotta pass. Instead, it's like, day one is basically just fucking welcome to the show. And then like day 5 is like you have your first diaper blowout or something like that, and then you just go through bit by bit. The test actually comes like 15 years later when your kid drives, or maybe even like 40 years later when your kid is now an adult and they're driving, and they make like a right turn from the middle lane. Then you failed. You failed the test because of the actions of your child, but like you don't have to sweat that at like the baby age. It's a hard level. Think the most difficult phase of having children is over or still ahead? I have no idea, but like, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts. They're all about economics. But they, before the economics talk starts, they talk about, like their lives. Some of them have kids that are like my daughter's age. Some of them have kids that are like teenagers. And the ones with teenagers are like, it gets harder every year. And I'm like, it can't be possible. Like, I think my hunch is that it gets harder in different ways. And easier in other ways. Like, I don't think any year could be harder on the mom than like the first year and a half, especially if you're nursing. You're feeding another mammal from your breast like 12 times a day. And even if you're using formula, like you're still, it's high maintenance, right? Like the amount of actual like time and effort involved is so high. Now, sure, as a teenager, like I'm sure that they'll yell at you for like just doing your best and like probably make bad decisions. But and that's harder. Like I don't have to deal with that for my daughter. Like I never come home or I never pick her up from daycare and I'm like, why do you smell like whiskey? But she might ask that of me. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, but at the same time, like your kid's in school 8 hours a day and then has like 2 hours of homework and then like, probably wants nothing else but to talk to their friends through the rest of the day. So like you and your spouse actually have some downtime. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Well, it's a little progress. His ass was not joking? I'm joking. I only drink insert odorless alcohol here. That reminds me of, I was talking about Justin watching that Canadian game show talk about it. Got me laughing because in one of them, they're like, we're going to talk about gin. Okay, for 20 seconds. Gin, it's an alcohol, it's a spirit, it's made from juniper berries. Then I swear to you, this lady says, it's an odorless, colorless, tasteless liquid. I said, what the hell are you talking about? Is it colorless? Yeah. I mean, by default. It's certainly not odorless or tasteless, though. It has like a very particular odor and taste. It's like one of the first things people would mention about gin is like, oh yeah, it kind of tastes like an air freshener. It's true. I think everybody did smoke back then. I'm going to get my ass kicked in Checkpoint League this week. I'm fully prepared for it. I'm like, I forget who's on, but I know it's Bear and Just. Oh, maybe it's Bear, Justin, Jasky. I guess I do know who's on, and me. I was like, who's the fourth person? Of course I know him. It's me. And Germa. You see that my clip got posted by the Germa Out of Context account? The clip where I say I love Germa, but I don't understand his community because every clip is titled like absolutely fucked streamer does psychopath thing, and it's just like 15 seconds of him eating a ham sandwich, and all the comments are like, this dude is fucked! But then all the replies on the Twitter video are like, this guy's fucked too! And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. Oh, what was I thinking? They're a little right. I don't think I'm fucked. I think I'm just, I don't know. I think I'm normal, but I'm just funny. So when you misrepresent your normalcy as insanity, the average Twitch viewer is like, what the hell? This guy's crazy. Because the jokes that they're used to from like their friend circle is like, that's what she said. Sounds like my nickname in college. Hey, that would be a great name for like a folk band, you know? And I'm out here weaving like a more intricate web. Kind of like the George R.R. Martin of shitposts. So true. And like George R.R. Martin, we got a lot of similarities. Both love Jimmy Kimmel. Well-respected. Elder statesman in our craft. And neither of us do a whole lot of writing. Okay, I'm just going to send it. Yep, that was a good one. Humblest streamer. I know it's a little crungo. It's my favorite joke template right now. Is least blank blank or most blank blank. Like when Dan, he was trying to write a word in MS Paint, but first he said he tried to draw it with the paintbrush, and then he went, wait, how do I make text? Then he made the text, but it was way too small to see. He said, how do I make the font bigger? Then he made the font bigger. He typed the whole word, but the text box itself was only 1 character long, so you could only see 1 character. Then he expanded the size of the text box, and the word that he wrote was spelled wrong. It felt so good to write "world's most tech-savvy boomer." Like it felt incredible. Little toxic, maybe, but it felt amazing. He did also say it was 3 letters, and then it was 4. All just the entire point of the joke was just that he told me something, and I said Lamau, which is true. Maybe a little focus would help us out. Nope. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all. Getting a lot of basketball memes on my Twitter For You page lately. I know more about basketball than I ever knew before. Apparently, it's played with a big round orange ball. Did you know this? Ooh! Hey, I don't know anything about baseball, but how did Shohei Ohtani not win MVP this year? Isn't he like the 3rd best pitcher and the 3rd best batter in the league? Shouldn't that make him the most valuable player like by default forever? It's because the Angels blow? Well, yeah, but like if they blow, shouldn't he be like more valuable? Because like he's good and the team sucks. Oh, do. Judge hit the 2nd most home runs ever. Did he actually win the MVP? Because Corey said that the Cardinals player won the MVP last year. And I was like, really? I know nothing about baseball, but I'm pretty sure Paul Goldschmidt did not win MVP last year because then I would know his name. Oh, there's 2. Never mind. He is right. I shouldn't have questioned Corey. He followed baseball because the Phillies were good last year. Hey, now, why do people keep crashing on those yellow barriers in Vancouver? Because people don't make the effort to drive sensibly here. I saw the post went, like, I didn't realize that the post escaped from Vancouver local and had become, like, at least a national viral tweet where there's, like, that SUV that... Well, because it was like a local a newscaster was like, City of Vancouver, it's time to remove like these concrete barriers that keep people from traveling too fast on streets that are mostly for cyclists and pedestrians. Because look at this, and it was like one person that marooned their SUV on top of like a 6-inch tall concrete barrier. I guess it was probably like a foot tall, but like... Everybody was deservedly clowning on them. Like, how bad do you have to be at driving to beach your SUV on a ankle-high concrete barrier that's bright yellow? Like, and I saw, because Green 9090 posted it, and I replied, and I said, I live here, and the only thing that surprised me about this is that it's not a white Tesla Model Y. Because, like, that's the new I don't know how to drive car. I see it all the time. But like listen, somebody like beaching their car on a concrete barrier is not something I see every day. But if I drove in Vancouver and I saw a car beached on one of those things, I wouldn't even slow down. I would just be like, it's another day at the office. For whatever reason, I think it's like, I mean, average person is not very good at driving. Plus, you know, a lot of people live here. Plus, if I have a genuine complaint about Vancouver, I mean, I guess I've got several. But like a bad, but I find semi-accurate stereotype of Vancouverites is that they're very self-absorbed. Maybe myself included. And that can have bad impacts while you're driving. If you think, like, for example, that it's more important to like look at your phone than it is to look at the road, which is one of the only ways that I can imagine accidentally beaching your car on a 8-inch tall, bright yellow concrete divider. Like, they didn't just clip it; they drove it like the middle of their car is on the divider. I've never seen that in Bellingham. Yeah, because like 17 people live in Bellingham. And I'm going to guess that most of them are cyclists anyway, which is cool, by the way. But let's pretend it's a dig for the purposes of this bit. I know I said this before, but Vancouver makes it deliberately inconvenient to drive, which I think is good. Although when I'm driving, I'm annoyed by it. I'm like, you're just trying to turn, and like every street is like, oh, only local traffic can go here. This one's closed to cyclists. This is a two-way street that used to be a one-way street. This is a two-way street that used to be a one-way street. But like, I recognize when I'm in my car, I'm like, this is annoying. But then when I'm walking or I'm on my bike, I'm like, oh shit, I love living here. And I am a person, not a car. So I consider that that's probably, a fair trade. Also, and I think if you want to own me on this one, you could call me world's most self-aware driver. But like, I fully respect the cyclist to driver dynamic. Because when it's sunny outside and warm, it's so easy to park, man, because so many people are driving their bike to work. When it's rainy outside, impossible to park because everyone drove their car. So every day that I'm driving and it's a sunny day and I'm like, oh, I'm annoyed I have to wait like 3 extra seconds for like more cyclists to go straight through the intersection so that I can turn right. I'm like, yeah, but when I get to my destination, oh baby, I'm gonna be able to park like 6 inches away from the door. So why drive? Because I'm picking my kid up from daycare, and honestly, I just don't feel safe with one of those like bike trailers on the back with my kid in it, or a seat on the back with my kid in it. I'm confident like in my own cycling abilities, but I'm not confident in not getting clipped by like a base level BMW SUV. Someone is like FaceTiming while driving, while watching like YouTube and posting on Instagram at the exact same time. Okay, now send it. Oh, you just let go of it there. Also known as girl bossing. I feel like we need bike lanes are great. Vancouver's got a lot of them, but we need to just build like bike cities. Because the problem with the bike lane is if you're in the car and you're turning right, the bike lane is on your right, but people in the bike lane are largely going straight. So I think we should just build like an exact replica of like every city and place it like next to the city, or maybe like on top. Maybe it could be like a second floor. And then world's sanest, North America's sanest city planner. I want to live in the basement of my city. I want to live in the garage where I belong. No one hears me sing my song. Yeah, I think 2 floors would be good. Also, I never get mad at cyclists. I think this is like let me rephrase because I do get mad at cyclists, but I haven't finished my sentence yet. I never get mad at cyclists like, oh, that dude did something illegal, and I'm pissed because he's going to get to his destination 3 seconds faster. I only get pissed when they do something that I'm like, buddy, you're going to get yourself killed. And I just hope like it's not my car that does it. That's the thing. It's not. I'm never like, oh, there's a cyclist like in my lane and I'm going 5 kilometers an hour slower than I otherwise would be, like that doesn't bother me at all. I'll just wait till it's safe to pass. When I see them like, you know, on a very busy road, like filter passing through traffic in the middle, I'm like, buddy, your wattage is crazy. Like I can see your calves. Like I know you're working hard, but at the same time, you're like, you know, you're one distracted driver away from becoming like a meatball. Okay, they did try a two-tiered city in Final Fantasy VII. It didn't work out well, but that's because the people on the bottom got jealous and fucking blew up the spire holding up the top, okay? So as long as we just like, if they could just chill, then it could work for everybody, I think. If they just relaxed. Oh, it wasn't even poor. Barrett was a property owner. Cloud Strife had like, I don't even want, like 99,999 gil worth of materia in his back pocket. They were LARPing. Like he's an ex-Shinra soldier. He had a damn pension. Come on. I read an article today that was like Canada is getting its biggest increase in alcohol tax in 40 years. They had an interview with a Nova Scotia pub owner who said, we're getting squeezed so hard, it's impossible to get blood out of a turnip. Someone should tell Ottawa it's impossible to get blood out of a turnip. I was like, I had some sympathy for them. I know the industry in hospitality has been through a lot in the last couple of years. Further down in the article, the tax increase adds up to approximately 1 cent per 12-ounce beer. I said, what the fuck? It's like you're not getting blood out of a turnip. You're just getting, it sounds like you're getting turnip out of a turnip. Also, was the tax increase 0% in the past 40 years? Well, it's like the lead is buried. The alcohol tax increase apparently is tied to inflation. So for like 30 years, inflation has been negligible. And then like last year, at least for this tax, they pegged it at like 6.5%. So they're raising the price of a beer by approximately 1 penny. Oh, Apollo, this is not possible. Didn't you already do it yourself? Yeah, but that was like, I don't know. It was like a year and a half ago or something like that. You can respawn the bomb. I don't know why when I read that message, the only thing that popped into my head was someone set us up the bomb. Well, main screen turn on. Someone did make a post. At first I was offended, but then I was like, actually, it's probably astute. Why don't we get together and call ourselves an institute? Said, NL playing Mario Maker is basically like elder millennial Subway Surfers TikTok videos. I guess it's true. You know, there's like a little bit of podcast style banter, and then just what you're seeing on the screen essentially doesn't matter. It's just there to like distract your cerebellum. Okay, we can respawn the bomb. Somebody set us up the bomb and respawn the bomb? Hey, how do you respawn the bomb, Chad? You fell for it. You die and reload. Run the other way? Like... Oh! Good to know. Honestly, good to know. Not one... Oh, actually, this was one guy, but the one guy was right this time. Better funny movie catalog. Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey. Hang on. I would say Ben Stiller has the best movies. Jim Carrey, my opinion, probably the most seminal talent of the bunch. Adam Sandler, like his good stuff was good, man. I'm not knocking all of Adam Sandler, but yeah, I mean, Stiller's got the best movies, man. Listen, Jim Carrey's got some slappers. And we're talking about their classic comedies. That's why I'm not putting The Secret Life of Walter Mitty in there. I'm not putting, the Meyerowitz stories in there. I'm not putting Uncut Gems in there. Jim Carrey's got Truman Show. Jim Carrey's got Liar Liar. Both of them, two of the funniest comedies. I would even just say two of the best general audience movies of the 1990s. I would not put Eternal Sunshine in. That's not, come on, that's not a classic Jim Carrey comedy. It's one of my favorite movies ever, but that's Charlie Kaufman's world and we're just living in it. Jim Carrey did a great job, but at no point does he go, erase my memory. The Mask is in there. Yeah, but the Mask is like, the Mask is merely pretty good. Ben Stiller's got, There's Something About Mary. He's got Tropic Thunder. I mean, I would stack up, Zoolander, Meet the Parents. I think Stiller's got the catalog. Jim Carrey's got the raw talent. And Adam Sandler was doing great stuff too for a while. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is Ben Stiller is more like, he's Aaron Judge. Like, sure, he's great, but he was, like, on a great team as well. He was surrounded by talented people. Jim Carrey at his peak is more like, kind of like a combination. Ohtani Trout is like, him by himself could carry a team to, like, 90 wins, but, it really was up to the supporting cast to not let him down from that point onwards. Adam Sandler, I don't know where Adam Sandler's like the Toronto Blue Jays. Some incredible seasons, but, I mean, really tough division. A tough division to make his stand, but you know what? Some really some of the die-hardiest fans in the league, for sure. Would you watch baseball if Vancouver got a team? Nope. Might go to like one game a year. Take me back. Wahoo! Oh! Would you play baseball for a $40 million contract? Yep, I would. Assuming that, like, the money was guaranteed. Yeah, I could do that. Whatever team I played for, though, I assume one of the fans would probably find me and shoot me to death with a gun. Like, once they saw that, I mean, in the majors, my batting average would be literally 0. Like, I don't think, there's no way I'm hitting, like, a modern pitcher's, I'm not even making contact, in all likelihood, with any pitch. If I do, there's no shot that it's landing in the gap. And then, it would be tough, man. I don't think no, I mean, like, here's the thing. If you put me in the NFL, could I catch a pass in a 20-year career? I bet I could catch one pass, probably because like the defense would, at some point, they would just stop covering me. They would be like, this guy's not worth like putting a free safety on when we could, you know, double team Juju Schuster-Smith instead. I can catch a ball. I'm not saying I would catch more than 50% of the throws that came at me, but I could catch one. Could I catch a fly ball in the majors? Easy money. Absolutely. Could I ever make contact with a pitch? Absolutely not. I can't imagine. Well, I guess I could make contact. I can't imagine getting on base with my own skill in Major League Baseball. Like, have you seen how fast the pitchers throw now? I don't think I can respawn it again. Nope. Those boys are zooming, man. Sure, I could bunt, maybe. Maybe I could make contact on the bunt, but then I got to make it to first. And I'm not beating the throw to first. Like, that might be one of the hardest feats in professional sports. I think if you put me on a basketball court for like an NBA court for a full season, I could sink. I could score a point. I could score 1 to 2 points. I could get fouled and sink a free throw, or I could make like a lucky shot. That's way more likely than me making contact deliberately with a Yu Darvish splitter or something like that. Why would they foul you? Well, probably just because they're like 6'10", and I'm only 6'9". So, like, as soon as they touch me, I would fall over, and maybe the refs, apparently, they're not paying attention these days. They'd probably be like, hey, why'd you attempt to murder that guy? He gets 2 from the line. I could see a world where, like, not every game, but now and then, I could put, like, 2 points on the board out of the, like, 100 that your team scores. Could you score in hockey? No shot. I would be stunned if I could even receive a pass in the NHL in an 82-game season. There's no way I'm beating an NHL goalie. Even with, I'd probably be more lucky to score against an NHL goalie due to being like hit with the puck in 5-on-5 than with a penalty shot. Like, there's no way I'm beating even the worst goalie in the league, who we all know is James Reimer. There's no way I'm beating him on a breakaway. You could give me 1,000 breakaways. It's never happening. Did you see in the new Jackass when PK Subban hits Dave Englund in the testicles with a slap shot from the blue line? People who play in the NHL, it turns out, are very good. Even PK Subban at the time that Jackass Forever was filmed was not good. He was like replacement level and then retired. He effortlessly skated up and hit like a 98-mile-an-hour fastball directly into a dude's testicles on his second shot. And I think the first one he put off target just to scare him. This is the one. Oh. Was there padding? Yeah, he had like a standard jock from Dick's Sporting Goods, ironically. But I don't think it's it's not enough. But the worst, so he had like the world's fastest women's softball pitcher windmill pitch one at his nuts. And then like the MMA fighter with the world's strongest punch punched him in the nuts. And then PK Subban slap-shotted a hockey puck into his nuts. And then the worst was definitely when the dude landed right on them with the pogo stick. That one was... That one was hard to watch. And then they went, and down, dicka doom, dicka down, dicka doom, dicka doom, dicka. Right, this explodes. Yeah, I like Jackass. I find Jackass very humorous. I enjoy it. I'm not watching that shit. Who asked? The dude's name is like for real Poopies, though? What's up with that? For real, for real. There we go. You're named Ryan? What the hell are you talking? I'm not Poopies. That's not, I mean, Ryan might not be the best name on the planet, but it's no Poopies. Ooh. Oh. My brother convinced my parents to watch it by saying it would be really funny, and they walked out of the theater. I mean, that's like an act of terrorism, essentially. You need to know what you're getting into. I don't even, like, that sounds like a bad acid trip or something. Like, I don't want to be in the movie theater with someone who thought Jackass was like a Ryan Reynolds rom-com or something like that. I want to be in the movie or in the theater with like some like-minded sickos. How was your first acid trip? I'll let you know when I get there, brother. Shit is him. What was he thinking, dude? What was he thinking? What are you talking about? Beat the level. When are you going to beat the level? Brother, we're just trying to get to the first checkpoint. Would you take acid in your 70s? Bitch, I don't know. That'll be like fucking 2040 something. I'm not 2050 something. I don't know. What's it? We might be drinking acid at that point. You know, we're already breathing it a little bit, especially if you got a gas stove like we do. I don't know, man. If I get to the 70s, I'm doing crack? That's if you make it to 70 with like a 16-year-old's brain. Like, there's a reason that people, like, in their 70s aren't like, okay, I guess I'm going to start smoking crack. It's like they're living a straight-edge lifestyle, because even living a straight-edge lifestyle comes with, like, you know, its own inconveniences as you get older. You don't, like, hit 80 and you're like, well, I got nothing to live for now. Let me just, like, start doing hard drugs. It's like your ass can't even eat, like, salt or you'll die. You gotta, if anything, you gotta switch from, like, regular gasoline to premium as you get old. You gotta treat yourself better just to feel, you know, a fraction as good as you did. You're right, I'm gonna start smoking crack now. That's the spirit. That's You hear that? No, I don't think I'm gonna, like, the thing that is stopping me from, like, doing drugs right now. I mean, it depends on the drug, right? Any drug with, like, insanely obvious deleterious effects to your mental, physical, like, social well-being, I don't want to do that shit when I'm 80. I got a damn child. The one like, my daughter gives me a call. It's like, hey, I was, oh, hey, Dad, it's 2035. How do you change a fuse? That's only 12 years from now. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, honey. Daddy's in a K-hole right now. Yeah, exactly. Someone said the same thing verbatim. Oh! But then there's others where I'm like, I don't know, I have like responsibilities. It's not to say you can't be like a responsible user of some drugs, which have various legalities in various parts of the world. But certainly, like, I'm not at a place in my life right now where I can have a trip that has like a 12-hour half-life or something like that. Like, I don't have that kind of luxury, unfortunately. Oh, I believed. Okay, okay. Acid's a whole damn day? Yeah, I can't be like, that's just crazy. I'll just like eat snacks made of fried corn. That's good enough for me. Maybe when I'm like 80, instead of like doing ketamine or picking up like a needle drug habit, I'll just start like eating sun chips. That's not gonna do it. Nobody's gonna look at an 80-year-old man and be like, hey, cut down on the sun chips, buddy. I got a nasty sun chip habit right now. I hear you, brother. People might be like, hey, Grandpa, you should probably stop doing so much heroin. Everyone should try a psychedelic once. I don't know. I'm already pretty out there. I'm pretty psychotic. I had cereal and a muffin for breakfast this morning. Get on my level. No milk? I'll have you know, I used milk. I expanded my horizons. If we didn't have milk in the house, it wouldn't be a problem. I would just eat the cereal dry. But as long as we have 3 1.5 liter containers of oat milk in the fridge, I'd be stupid to not use the oat milk because I'll probably end up throwing out like 1.5 of those in 6 weeks anyway when they go bad because we don't consume that much oat milk. But at Costco, they only came in a 3-pack.